rusty road I call my own, dragging my feet, what's the hurry? I was on a trajectory to shine like the northern lights, but here I find myself in the darkness. This is the darkest. Spirit, I can hear you call my name, but my vision is cloudy. I feel blind and I can't see. Somehow I think I have lost my way. Now I'm searching for something. Into the Holy One I pray. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. Show me the way. Show me the way. Play this game of hide and seek. I've been here before, running in circles to catch the next revolving door. It's making me dizzy and queasy, this wave of revolution. But the breath of the Spirit is keeping me alive. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. Oh, I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. And the cobwebs are ripped away from my eyes. It's the nature of the Spirit, it cannot be denied. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. I'm resting in your light. I'm ready for you. Show me the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resting in your light. Light, that's what we're talking about today. That's what I'm talking about today. Anybody ever get up and just think it's going to be all about you? I'm feeling like it's all about me.
Like the day?
You know, anybody that's been around science of mind for any amount of time probably has heard or understands or experienced that once you set your intention for transformation in a certain area of your life, the universe just takes it and runs with it. And for me, I can often find myself hanging on to the tail of the comet as it gets taken off.
Yes, that's
This
a great
is-
visual.
Yeah. So I started facilitating a class. You've been hearing probably about our class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And it is the basics, back to basics of science of mind, down to the steps of treatment, down to the crafting and affirmation and the 3 Ps, the personal, the present, the positive, things I haven't actually read in print for many years, although I like to say that I'm a practicing practitioner of science of mind. You know, I've read in front of my name, just got ordained. And boy, is this class working me. It's working me. And the difference, I think, between many, many years ago and now is that I'm not really surprised. Like, I get surprised for a minute, and I'm like, oh yeah, that again. I set that intention, didn't I? And, you know, the reason that I can say that is because we're dealing with an exact science in Science of Mind. That's why we call it Science of Mind. It's not theology. It wasn't born from the sacred scriptures of the Sanskrit. It didn't come from any of that. It came from an idea, right? It came from an idea that it is done unto you as you believe. It came from an idea from someone we consider to be a master teacher in Jesus that understood something. That he understood that life is moving through in and as each of life's expressions. And that's never not true. And if there's anything that folks are taking, I think, hopefully, from the course that we're experiencing together on Thursday nights right now, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, is that the great thing about spiritual law is that it's never not true. And the worst thing about spiritual law is that it's never not true. So when I have this topic to write about, one that I didn't make up, it works me anyway. Leaving the light on all night, keeping the light on all night, keeping, right? That's efforting to keep the light on all night. And I was struggling with this because why am I efforting to keep a light on that is not capable of turning off? I actually have to effort to dim my awareness of this light that oftentimes is so bright that I, as a human, can't really comprehend it. Can't comprehend how bright it can be. And I find myself almost intentionally dimming it. How do we do that? I think a lot of ways. I think we can do it unconsciously, consciously, intentionally. To fall back into some kind of belief system that has worked for me in the past. At least for me, this is we'll talk about me. Flip back and forth between me and me, we're all one, right? If what I'm saying does not resonate with you, just feel free to let me know afterwards. But it happens. It happens one day this week. I literally just needed to turn everything off, and I binge watched a series, 8 shows right in a row. Now, I have not done that in I don't know how many years. But, you know, other than the light of the TV, I really wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to my own light or what it was doing in the world or any of that. Just turned it off. And I think there are other ways that we intentionally check out, right? Sometimes calling it self-care. Great. Whatever floated my boat that day is what I did to take care of myself. But it did make me realize that it was effort. It was something that I was doing to effort to dim the light. Because the light doesn't know how to dim. And the light's present everywhere. The light is ever present in spirit, and because it's ever present in spirit, it's ever present in me. Because I am an emanation of spirit. That's spiritual law, by the way, and it's never not true. Even in those moments when I feel like being upset with myself for binge watching 8 shows and maybe playing hooky from a couple hours of work and creating more effort that I'm going to have to spend on another day because I chose to dim. It's never not true. I'm still an emanation of spirit and God. So this knows how to turn off awareness of the light, but the light does not know how to dim. And Ernest Holmes, says the power for good in the universe. There's power for good in the universe. It's greater than we are, and we can use it. And when we say light, it can mean so many things, but I think that power for good is that light. It's that spiritual light, that thing that can be particle and wave at the same time, because it's possibility, just wave of possibility until I choose a certain point to look at. My whole life is wave of possibility until I choose to look at an aspect of it and then call it what it is. And Science of Mind teaches us, even the basics of Science of Mind teaches us that all there is now in our experience. And then I believe Ernest Holmes' real life today, he would be, talking a lot more about quantum theory and how, light is wave and particle, life is wave and particle, everything is wave of possibility. And they're starting to discover this in science. So by the way, if you didn't know you were going to get a science lesson today, that's what we're talking about. So one of my living metaphors for this concept of life never turning off, life that cannot be stopped, the light that never turns off, was watching this eagle's nest in Southern California. Some of you have heard me talk about Jackie and Shadow, the eagles that are famous for mating. And in the past week and a half, several weeks, Jackie actually felt ill and was rescued by the Raptor Center, and they tried hard and treated her. And this last week, she moved on to this expression. And paying attention on social media and all the updates, you see, what people can do with this experience of a wild animal and putting human emotion and human, likeness onto them. But what was real is that the nest activity didn't, normally I don't think this time of year that we would be seeing either one of the eagles at the nest. But what we're seeing is a new subadult flirting with Shadow, claiming the nest as hers. She's not even old enough to lay eggs yet, but almost. And oddly enough, although it's not the same couple, but this eagle's parents are have the same names as Jackie's parents did, Ricky and Lucy. So anyway, my point is that life doesn't stop. And Ernest tells us that life doesn't stop just because one expression of it changes. And remember, a couple of weeks ago, if you were here, Reverend Donna talked about dancing in the light. We heard the song Dancing Through Life. We saw Ron dance, just revisiting the earlier part of the talk. But during that, Donna talked about the spiral. The mathematic equation of the spiral, which is the Fibonacci sequence. The 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and so on. 5 and 8 is 13. And that mathematic equation creates the spiral and the repetitiveness that we see in so many things of nature. In fact, I think even in Buddha's curls and that banner back there. So nature shows it in the nautilus, in spider webs, in the flower of life. And then we take art and we put it in art. And we find different ways to express it. And that spiral is a demonstration about how life is always evolving and moving upward. And that each part of each experience today is made up of our experiences of yesterday. We don't get to leave anything behind. We're always carrying a piece of it with us. Consciousness, energy, the experience that helped create the filter that I'm looking through today. Or perhaps the negating of that experience that helped create the filter that I'm looking through today. But life contains everything that has ever happened and ever will in this moment right now. And that includes my experiences of yesterday, my experience right now, and my experiences of tomorrow. They're never not here because it's all the wave of possibility. You cannot ever turn off the light. It's constant. It's constant. All we can do is dim it for ourselves. And it's physically impossible for anyone else to dim it for us. Because we have the freedom of choice. Choice is our divine birthright. It's innate, regardless of what theology, whatever it is that you turn to beyond this 3D experience for feeling spiritual, whatever you turn to, it all contains the same choice. The choice to believe in separation from each other and the one and all other parts of nature, or to know that we are one with it, and then act on that belief. And no matter what we're doing daily or feeling, we're always acting on that belief, on the core and root of that belief. And so back to the class and how it's working me. I've been worked, and has anybody in here ever felt depressed? Right? And I would assume depression, I mean, it can have all kinds of levels. It can show up a lot of ways for me, and I imagine that it's probably the same for others. You know? And one thing that I have learned about depression is that it's never because anything's missing. Right? It's usually because I'm carrying something that I don't want. And then my brain turns it into feeling like something's missing. And so what I know is that science of mind doesn't ask us to constantly feel spiritual. It doesn't. We can experience whatever we want. What science of mind asks us to do is remember that we are spiritual even when we're not feeling spiritual. And so for me, depression doesn't mean that the light is gone. It just means that I now have added fog to the mix. I woke up in Willamette Valley on a late August morning. And then I can tell myself, oh, the doom and gloom of winter is coming. Or I can say, oh, this too shall pass. The light will eventually burn off this fog, because that's what light does. And the only way the fog is going to stay is if I effort to keep it here. How do I do that? A lot of ways, I think. Am I aware of it? Not always. Of course not. Who wants to do that on purpose? But I have patterns and I have belief systems that are constantly worked way down deep back to when I was born. Every experience I had, every time someone said no to me, every heartbreak, every time someone discriminated against me, or I was treated unfairly, or I didn't feel like I belonged, any of those things had helped me create another film of muck on the windows that I look through every day that I call my eyes. And so if I remember that I'm always one with the one, and that's all I'm ever thinking about, it's impossible for that film to stay. But in today's world, in today's human experience, it is not easy to constantly walk around in the light. And when we do, we might be arrested or committed because people are like, you are crazy. We still have to understand that we have a life experience in the human part of our experience. And so even when our awareness dims, we can remember that the pattern, that Fibonacci pattern, that constant evolution is always unfolding. And I don't have to be in this experience forever, but what I do know is that I'm going to take it with me. So I can choose in the moment who I want to be in that experience, because who am I going to take with me into tomorrow? Even when we feel stuck, we can rely on a geometry that is older than our fear. It's older than our depression. It's older than us. It's older than the human race. It's scientific. So when we are doing what is so funny, did anybody see the movie Hunt for Red October? I'm going back into the 80s now, right? Okay. So one of the, Sean Connery, the Russian captain, and Alec Baldwin figured him out, and he did this thing called a Crazy Ivan in the submarine, where he would like do a look back, and then keep going again, and look back, and then keep going again. That's what I feel like moving through depression kind of feels like. It's like, oh, there's God, oh. You know, constantly doing the look back. And if you look at a spiral, it's doing the same thing, right? That look back and that forward movement is part of the equation. It's part of life. So it is completely natural that we have to move through the opposite of what we want and know to be our true nature in order to know our true nature. So with that, I celebrate adversity. Yay, make rainbows out of gray clouds. The light doesn't always have to be fully in our awareness to know that perfection is unfolding. So, Jackie moves on and the nest keeps thriving. The spiral shows us that evolution is always continuing. Power is present all the time. The world turning around us and everything happening shows us that it's never not unfolding. When I'm feeling as if my world has just been shook and I look around and everybody's still acting as everything is normal, that is proof that the world is still always unfolding in its perspective, regardless of whether or not I and my awareness are there in that moment. And with Emma Curtis Hopkins, she shows that the freedom continues. Just because we're here now doesn't mean we're going to stay there. That we can always begin again. Begin again, begin again, choose differently. And sometimes our emotion shows us that our awareness fluctuates. And we can remember that the pattern doesn't. So, one teaching. Light is always on. Spiral is always upward. Your awareness is the doorway. Your willingness is the hinge. Your nature is the room you live in. And even when I'm feeling down and dim, I'm still spiraling upward. And even when I'm feeling foggy, I know that light is still present. Even when I'm feeling lost, I know that the pattern is still the same. I know that I'm still moving at the same trajectory. I still have the same evolution process in process. I'm never not unfolding perfectly in the mind of spirit. So I want to share with you in closing today, because I just cannot. Reverend Donna promised you all that I would bring Tool into my talk this month. There's a band called Tool, and they have a song called Lateralis, which talks very much about this life's evolution. And so I put together a little bit for you. It uses the song itself, if you're a musician, it uses the Fibonacci sequence in its syllable counts, time signatures, and song structure. The first verse's line lengths map to the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 5, and 3, mirroring the mathematical equation of the spiral. And it's the song's theme is to reach beyond ordinary limits. The musical structure and the time signatures are, the time signature itself shifts, the rhythm shifts through 9/8, 8/8, and 7/8 meter time. The combined sequentiality, 987, forms the number 987, which is the 16th number in the Fibonacci sequence. The timing is similar and is the spiral theme of the song. So it's called Lateralis. It's by the band Tool. If you're curious about it, I invite you to look it up and check it out. I'm going to read a little bit. I'm not going to play it because it's 9 minutes long, but I'm going to read some of it to you. Remember the syllables. Black, then white are all I see. In my infancy, red and yellow then came to be. Reaching out to me, lets me see. As below, so above and beyond, I imagine. Drawn beyond the lines of reason, push the envelope, and watch it bend. Overthinking and overanalyzing separates the body from the mind, withering my intuition, missing opportunities, and I must feed my will to feel my moment, drawing way outside the lines. There is so much more that beckons me to look through these infinite possibilities. As below, so above and beyond I imagine, drawn outside the lines of reason, pushing the envelope and watching it bend. Overthinking and overanalyzes separates the body from the mind, withering my intuition, leaving opportunities behind. So feed my will to feel this moment. Urge me to cross the line. I'm reaching out to embrace the random and reaching out to embrace whatever may come. I embrace my desire to feel the rhythm and to feel connected. Enough to step outside and weep like a widow, to feel inspired, to fathom the power, to witness the beauty, to bathe in the fountain, to swing on the spiral of our divinity and still be a human. And with my feet upon the ground, I lose myself beneath the sounds and open wide to suck it in. I feel it move across my skin. I'm reaching up and reaching out. I'm reaching for the random or whatever will bewilder me. And following our will and wind, we may just go where no one's been. We'll ride this spiral to the end. We may just go where no one's been. Spiral out and keep going. So that may not be everybody's cup of tea, but certainly mine.
Wow.
And the music is so layered and so well done. So today, for the closing invitation, I'm inviting you that when you're feeling bright, notice the light. Notice the light. And when you're feeling dim, trust the light. And when you're feeling foggy, remember the light. And when you feel lost, just start again. Just begin again. The light is always on. The spiral is always upward. And you're always at choice to begin again. Let's pray. Just taking a moment with great gratitude for my opportunity to be alive and breathing in this moment, to experience all that I can. To remember that there's only one thing ever happening. That is the ever-present, omnipresent expansion and expression of spirit in its highest and greatest form. And I know that I am part of this. I am part of this expression. Regardless of what it looks like to me, I know that it is a perfect unfolding. So I know and claim this light, this awareness of light. I know and claim that I remember the light and that I choose constantly to intentionally remember the light. And if I am finding myself in a place where I'm seeing through fog or perhaps through cobwebs, if it's been a while since I've loved myself, that I can tune into a power that is greater than me, and I can use it to remember that there is a constant light and wave of possibility available to me to reach out and choose. Choose better, choose brighter, and begin again. So grateful for the principle and spiritual law that's never not true. That law that makes my word absolutely matter and made manifest. I release it into law. And so it is.
So it is.